So hello and welcome back to Gumade Coins and Banknotes. And this is in response to a question that I have got about the passing away of Queen Elizabeth II. So the actual question is, are our coins still valid? And this not only applies to Australia, this applies to any country that has used the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. So we've got the UK, Cook Islands. Here we have some Bermuda coins. Yes, they issue their own coins. New Zealand and Australia. Oh, and also, I'll use Cyprus as another example. So, are our coins still valid with Queen Elizabeth II? Well, basically, yes. As far as I know, there is no legislation saying when Queen Elizabeth dies, our currency becomes invalid. And I don't think that's ever been the case. Although I have heard read in the past where coins have been demonetized and they have been issuing new coins. Now, a lot of that time, that is because they wanted to reduce the silver content of the actual coins. But basically, not much else. Very rarely do they demonetize coins based on political circumstance. Like if it's an enemy's coin, maybe they might demonetize it, or they might just accept it at face value, melt it down, and issue new coins. It's more likely what it's going to happen. But there are some examples of coins that have been demonetized, but these are not because of the change of the monarch. So the most popular one we have, and this applies to all old UK coins, is the £1 from the United Kingdom. So the reason why these have been demonetised is because of a counterfeiting problem. They issued a new £1 coin, a bimetal one, and they demonetised these because there's just way too many counterfeits. As you can see, it's just a single metal coin, and these were actually quite easy to counterfeit, like the Australian $2 coin. Very easy. So that's one reason why they demonetize coins, because they change the actual coin shape or design. So they've done this also with the Cook Islands. So the Cook Islands coins went out of circulation pretty much in the 90s. And they probably were around up until 2016 when New Zealand changed the shape of their coins, because the Cook Islands do use New Zealand coins. So here's a New Zealand 20 cent. Here's a current Cook Islands 20 cent. Now, but to get some signerage, so some value from the issuance of coins, Cook Islands in 2015 issued their own coins. And all the older coins, so the large 20 cent coin from the Cook Islands, were demonetized. These are only collector's items now. You can't spend them. The only ones that are legal tender in the Cook Islands are the 2015 coins, and that goes for every denomination, even the $2 denomination, in which they didn't change the shape or the size, but they did change the metal. So there's a copper nickel one, now it's aluminium bronze. And that was demonetized as well. More than likely, this was demonetized just to get some value out of the coins that were never returned. So it's another way that they demonetize coins. So any coins that are still left in people's hands no longer become legal tender, but it's still on the books. And the government actually gets a profit from that. Okay, and we also have New Zealand. So New Zealand did demonetize their older, large coins from 1 cent to 50 cent. The old series issued in 1967 were demonetized. And the 10, 20, and 50 cent of the smaller series are current. So that's why New Zealand demonetized their old coins, because they changed the size and withdrew them from circulation. Now, some countries don't demonetize the coins. So Australia, this is what we're talking about. So here I have some shillings. So this shilling, after the death of George V in 1936, this would have still been used up until 1966 because it's still legal tender, and it can still be used now. So these coins are still legal tender in Australia. So I could use this for 10 cents, even though the silver value of this coin is about $5 to $6, and the 1946 one is about $3 to $4, depending on the day. So there is a wide circumference, but you're going to spend these 10 cents? No, because the silver values quite a lot higher than the face value. And the same with the Queen Elizabeth. So if you went to, I don't know, back in time to the 1950s, you probably would have had these three coins in circulation at the same time. But I'd say that these ones, especially in this condition, would have been withdrawn from any bank if it was deposited, and probably would have become scarcer because the mintage of these is lower. The mintage of Queen Elizabeth in the 50s and 60s is quite a lot higher than George V. And George VI had a similar mintage to Queen Elizabeth II. It also does depend on the year. So this is a low mint coin, even though it's George VI. But then you got other coins from 1950. So this is pretty much a high mint coin, only worth about whatever it is value is in silver. But the moral of the story is that even though these two monarchs died, he died in 1926, he died in 1952, the coins were still legal tender up to 1966, and they are still legal tender now. So these have never been demonetized in Australia, unlike the UK, which has demonetized the old pre-decimal coins. So these coins here, they're still going to be legal tender, even if in Australia, if they change the size of the 10, 20 and 50 cent coin, or get rid of the 5 cent coin, they're still going to be legal tender, and you can take it to the bank. Like the 1 and 2 cent coin, which I have a few here, you can still take these to the bank and get their face value worth and deposit it into your bank account. So if you've got $100 or 2 cent coins, you can take them to the bank and get $100 worth of value. So those are still legal tender, even though people probably won't accept them as change. So basically, that is what is going to happen to our currency. And even though the United Kingdom does demonetize its coins when it changes the shape, not the design, these coins with Elizabeth II, so this is the £2, and they're going to be legal tender until they decide that they want to alter the £2 coin like the £1 coin. And Bermuda's the same, so they issued coins in the 1970, and all these coins are still legal tender, although they don't really issue a 50 cent anymore like the United States, but it's still legal tender in Bermuda for 50 cent. And these are equivalent to US currency. The shape, the weight, the metal's a bit different. They're all just copper nickel instead of copper nickel clad copper. But United States currency is exchangeable for 1-to-1 in Bermuda. You can't spend Bermudan coins in the United States. So basically, that is the state of play of the current coins with Elizabeth II. Now, will any of them be demonetized in the future? Well, I don't know. But it's safe to say is that until the government decides that they will demonetize coins, all coins issued by the Australian government since 1910, as well as banknotes since 1913, still legal tender, so you can still spend it. Although a lot of them, especially the pre-decimal stuff, is worth more than its actual face value. So I hope this helps with questions that people have been asking. And that was, I'll say it again, coins with Elizabeth II still legal tender. Basically in all countries that they are used, yes they are. Thank you very much. Hope you have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time. And just be careful what you read and who you talk to out there. Thank you and goodbye.